Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the signing of a protocol agreement from the wind energy project in Kuwait for the International Sea. Saudi Arabia requests the Arab League to be welcome to our newsroom. It is with great sadness that the Egyptians learned the death of the Sultan of Tajurra, Abdul Qadir Ahmed, yesterday, Friday, 17 May in Paris, from the announcement of the death following the Sultan of Tajurra, Abdul Qadir Ahmed. The first messages of condolence were addressed by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed. Many messages of condolence addressed to his family, to the peoples of the Sultanate of Tajurra, and the Egyptians still flock to the RTD. That's the Sultan of Awsa, Hanfari Ali Mirah, the Sultan of Kobad, Habib Mohammed Boko, the Sultan of Rahait, Abdul Qadir Dawood, the President of the National Assembly, Muhammad Ali Ahmed, the Ministers to the Presidency for Investment, Ali Guelleh Bakar, the Minister of Transport, Mr. Musa Mohammed Ahmed, the Secretary of State for Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohammed Aramis, the Minister of Energy, Yunus Ali Gedi, the Minister of Urban Planning, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilam, Budget Minister Abdul Karim Aden Sher, the Minister of Communication, Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdon, Interior Minister Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, Mediator of the Republic Qasim Ishaq Osman, the Secretary General of the Primature Naguib Abdullah Kamil, former Prime Minister Dileta Mohammed Dileta, the President of the PST Party, Ms. Hasna Mumin Bahdon, the Chief of Staff of the Presidency, Mohammed Abdul Qadir, the Ambassador of Djibouti, Adam Mohammed Dileta in Germany, Ahmed Reita in Japan, Dr. Kamil Mohammed in Russia, Mr. Mohammed Mumin from Kuwait, Mohammed Duhur from Egypt, Omar Abdi Said in Belgium, Mr. Ali Abdu Sultan, the Member of Parliament Ali Ahmed Hassan, Member of Parliament Kamil Ahmed, Obok President of Council Muhammad Ahmed Ismail, the President of Council of Tajurra Umar Hussein, the Prefect of Tajurra Abdul Malik Muhammad Benoita, the Prefect of Dakhel Muhammad Sheikh Hassan, the Prefect of Obo Hassan Dabele Ahmed, the Director Baragoita Said Ali Muhammad Abdu Muhammad Hassan Osman, the Mr. Dawood Abdul Qadir Dawood Trader, the President of Afar Pen Alwan Burhan, UDC President Dr. Muhammad Hassan, the management and all staff of the radio televisions of RTD, the Dinekala Association and other sales association from Tajurra, all send their condolences to the families of the late Sultan of Tajurra, Abdul Qadir Ahmed, and the entire populations of the Sultanate of Tajurra, the Republic of Djibouti. They pray to God to welcome him to his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, oversaw today in the meeting room of the Prime Minister the signing between the Ministry of Energy for Natural Resources and Africa Finance Corporation for the implementation contract of the wind project 60 megawatt at the Kuwait. In addition to this contract, Djibouti Electricity has also signed a power purchase agreement with this same institution. Indeed, these two contracts are complementary to consume the electricity produced to this renewable energy. The Minister of Energy for Natural Resources, Yunus Ali Gedi, is pleased that this much awaited major project has been signed, and thanks our partners for the work done in this negotiations, as well as to thank the Executive Director of APC, Mr. Oliver Andrew, with his delegations, including Mr. Ozari Barso, Mr. Anabu Amadou Wada, for his cooperations and perfect collaboration.
The Minister, and of course our partner in this, Mr. Jama, who we've worked extensively together, him and his team and myself and my team, to make this happen. We now have to go and work hard to implement this project, so we will bring additional capacity in the electricity sector, which has been his dream and our dream to Djibouti. So we thank you kindly, and we look forward again to other projects that we can work together. Thank you, Mr. Jam.
The General Manager of EDD, Mr. Jama Ali Gelle, has indicated that this project stems directly from the government's roadmap by combining two main energy policy objectives, such as security of energy supply to aim for energy independence and the promotions of renewable energy to each of horizon of utilizations of energy, 100% of green energy. The Minister of Energy, Yunus Ali Geddi, announced that the power line to evacuate this energy from the Gubet to Djibouti city was under construction, because it is important that this line be completed before the end of the installations of the windmills by next year, and this to avoid any productions of unused energy. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, today received in his office the Coordinator General of United Nations System in Djibouti, Ms. Barbara Monzi, carrying a message of congratulations after the renewal of his Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil at the head of this department. The interview of high importance took place in the presence of the technical advisor of the State Secretariat, Dr. The first person is responsible for youth, the major event of the month of June, with the holdings of regional forum with youth forum, and vital importance for the countries that is young people, since a recommendation is beneficial to the youth of Djiboutians are expected at its end. The representative of the UN Secretary General in Djibouti did not fail to take this opportunity to give her full support and that of systems of she represents for the total success of the event. Ms. Barbara Manzi did not fail to congratulate the Secretary of State for organizing the dialogue between the President and the youth of a dialogue that is solved with all of the problems that left forces of our nation. The two leaders even discussed expanding these consultations with youth by organizing an international forum with the participation of 30 countries, so that exchanges take another dimension to provide solution to the various issues of young people. Ms. Barbara Mansi reiterated her full availability accompanying any project. A signing ceremony of the loan financings of Djibouti International Free Trade Zones, known as DFTZ, from the China Development Bank. This signing ceremony was held with the presence of the President of Port Authority, Mr. Abubakar Umar Hadi, and the Vice President of China Development Bank. Recall that this international free zone was inaugurated by the President of the Republic, Ismail Magele. This international free zone completes the link of ports and rail infrastructure that our countries has built up over the last decade. For more details, the President of the Ports of Free Zone, Mr. Abubakar Umar Hadi. Debate on the issue of refugees in the Pan-African Parliament. The refugee question is on the centers of second ordinary session. The 5 legislators in Midrand, South Africa. The work of second ordinary sessions of 50 legislators of the Pan-African Parliament opened in South Africa. Strong the parliamentary delegation from Djibouti, including Hussein Mohammed Ali, participate in these works of second ordinary sessions of the 5th legislatures of the Pan-African Parliament. 10 points to discuss during this meeting, chaired by Roger Ndodo, Dan, President of the Pan-African Parliament. Second session is focused on this general theme of finding solutions to the problems of refugee and internally displaced persons, and on the African continent, the Djiboutian Member of Parliament Hussein Mohamed Ali, at the end of this regular meeting, present the policy of the Republic of Djibouti in matter of reception and assistance to refugees. Mr. Hussein Mohamed expressed his appreciation for the effort of Djibouti has made to provide durable solutions to the problem of displacement and refugee. The inhabitants of Salama Peak 13 have organized a collective brick fest with the participation of senior officials of the country, including the Minister of Waqf, the Mediator of the Republic, Dr. Qasim Ishaq Osman, the Mayor of Djibouti, Ms. Fatuma Wali Osman, Directors and Agency from Found Habit. It is the first time that this live that was organized in this big mosque of Salama. The atmosphere is joyous with breakup of the youth in the neighborhood where hundreds of families occupy 540 homes. The officials thanked the associations of the Salama city, which shows a new dynamic with the organizations of this first breakup in collaboration with the rehabilitation agencies of housing. The violent winds accompanied by heavy rains fell this afternoon on the capital, and this indeed it is with a squall that this rain began around 3 p.m. and we do not deplore until the not damage. Yesterday also precipitation was reported in the region of Dakhil, and the Prefect Mohammed Sheikho has transmitted a message to motorists to be careful in the slippers of the bears of what in the regions of Unit. In this blessed month of Ramadan and early summers, this rain are welcome for the Djiboutian population. The meteorological directors informed that the little cloudy and sky becoming cloudy over the whole territory in the evening, with possibility of formations of few stormy homes on the relief of the interior and the north of the countries. At the end of the evening, the night can cause stormy intermittent rain reaching the littoral. The wind will blow from moderate to strong east to northeast, and a dominant moment visibility will be reduced and rainfall. The sea will be agitated to temporarily agitate offshore. Vigilance must be in order, he informed. Under the leadership of the Colonel Wa'is Omar Bogore, commanders of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, a ceremony full of emotions and encouragement that Sergeant Abdulrazak Hassan Gire rise to the rank of sergeant was held on Thursday, May 16th, in the hall of the institutions, in the presence of the president of Djibouti Athletic Federation and its collaborator, the officers of the Coast Guard, and the parents of the young runners. This ceremony, Colonel Wa'is Omar Bogore wanted to underline and reward the invaluable honor that the Coast Guard athletics reached. Indeed, the championship held in the Ivory Coast this year to promote sports and athletics. In particular, the Coast Guard has put in place a vast programs of training young athletes and an environment of preparations in order to prepare the future athlete to the nations and who could become the future Ahmed Salah or Anglais Suleiman. Fast break with Asagaila populationists and distributionist food. A delegation from the State Secretariat for Decentralization and the Ministry of Social Affairs, led by Secretary General Mr. Mohammed Isa Faraj, visit Asagaila Tajura region yesterday, Saturday, May 18, 2019, welcomed by the Sub-Prefect of Adailu, Mr. Muhammad Abu Bakr, Mr. Ali Hassan, the elders of the town, Mr. Nuh Muhammad, and the chief of the villages, delegations of the two ministerial departments brought the first conviviality and ground humor during these exchanges with the population. The Secretary General of the Mr. Muhammad Isa Faraj immediately thanked the population of Asagaila and the surrounding camp for having so warmly welcomed him despite the fast of under a crushing summer's sun. He conveyed the warmest greetings of the Secretary of State for Decentralization, Mr. Hamad Muhammad Aramis, and his colleagues of Social Affairs, Muna Usman Adan. The discussions between the representative of the state and the Secretary of State and the Adailu Customers Chief focused on the difficulties related to the drought and its direct consequence, the most serious of which is undoubtedly the lack of water. The Secretary General stressed that the State Secretariat for Decentralization was prepared to provide the populations with the necessary support to the best of its ability. It also called on the Customary Chief of Adailu to register best early that the administrations could take the necessary step to help parents take care of the children due to the recurring drought. The Secretary General has expressed the wishes of the Secretary of State for Decentralization to see the populations of the various settlements of Alaidu as for benefit effectively from the access to services of state. For the international scene in Riyadh convened summit of Gulf state after attacks Saudi Arabia. King Salman has invited Gulf state leader to an emergency summit to discuss the consequence of the drone attack this week against the two Saudi oil wells. The meeting is scheduled for the May 13th in Jeddah, said the Saudi Foreign Ministry. Tuesday's explosive drone attack followed sabotage operations that targeted 4 ships of United Arab Emirates on Sundays, including 2 oil Saudi companies, in a context of heightened regional tensions. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.